Our process is going to control the Maillard reaction deliciously. Maillard, capital M-A-I-L-L-A-R-D. Maillard. I pronounce this word with my American English accent and I say Maillard. I don't pronounce the D still because I want to emphasize how its origins are French. It comes from the last name of a French chemist named Louis Camille Maillard. And in 1912, this chemist described a really important chemical reaction that happens when you heat up a mixture of sugars and proteins, and they create something new and they cook, and in fact, they turn brown and smell really good. It's like when you bake bread and that outside crust of sugars and amino acids got together and they created that browning effect and smells and tastes so good. All of that is a Maillard reaction. Maillard describes a very specific type of reaction involved in cooking. American chemist John E. Hodge actually described the Maillard reaction in more scientific detail. He's cited a lot when people in the scientific community and engineering community talk about the Maillard reaction. His diagram of all the different things that are going on in this reaction is pretty great. This is not a simple reaction. A lot of stuff is happening. And in John E. Hodge's diagram, there's a bunch of different boxes with arrows pointing in different ways, and you have these intermediate steps while oxidation and reduction is happening. And at the end, you have a whole class of molecules that can be formed, which we name melanoidins, which sounds a little bit like melanin, which you might know is the pigment in your skin that gives it that color. Well, melanoidins are the names of all those molecules that are kind of brown and they taste good and smell good after you've cooked something, not just in the crust of bread, but maybe in pastries or in meats or in coffee. Also, besides making foods taste good, they might be the waste products in chemical engineering plants. For example, in sugar refineries, when you process sugar, you might have some amines reacting with sugars again, and you don't want to just shove all this into the rivers. Why is this a waste product? Well, it turns out when we eat these browned bits in our bodies and when they go into our rivers as pollution, they actually can cause problems in living things. Maybe they can cause cancers. Eating the products of the Maillard reaction has been linked to diabetes in people. Those are just some small examples, but you can check the biomedical literature. There's a lot of evidence that eating those burned bits might have biological consequences. So where do engineers come into all this? Well, it mostly comes into play when chemical engineers, biomedical engineers, mechanical engineers, and industrial engineers work in food science or food products or maybe even environmental situations, like we said, at sugar refineries. These engineers have to control the Maillard reaction and the byproducts of this Maillard reaction. When you're making your boxed pastry, that is browned just so, you don't want it to have too much. You don't want it to have too little. You want it to have some flavor, but you don't want to cause cancer in all your customers, right? Biomedical engineers might also study the products of the Maillard reaction in cells or in people on that other end after we've ingested those Twinkies and, canned meats or whatever. So the word Maillard is so important in chemistry and all the engineering fields related to food chemistry in particular. And that is why Maillard is the engineering word of the day. Hey, thanks for listening to the Engineering Word of the Day podcast with yours truly, Engineer Pius Wong. If you like this podcast and the other educational and engineering stuff that I do, please support me. I'm on Patreon, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, all those places. If you want to donate, just go to patreon.com/PiosLabs.